The topic is love that extends beyond the grave. Life has many twists and turns. Mine has included both joy and sorrow. One source of joy came years ago when I fell in love and got married. We started a family and life was good. One of many sources of sorrow arrived when my wife fell ill. Although I was not at first aware of it, her cancer was terminal. Over the next 5 years, she was in and out of the hospital and eventually became wheelchair-bound. When she finally passed away, I was left an emotionally devastated single dad. I was 46. Over the years, various widows and widowers have quietly told me about visitations from their loved one on the other side. Of course, many people deny such things, passing them off as emotional grief or even hallucinations. And that is why widows and widowers are careful about who they share their experiences with. People are prone to start from a preconceived conclusion and work backward to create an explanation consistent with their assumptions, no matter how flimsy or illogical the reasoning might be. It's a flipped case of seeing is believing. That's right. You wouldn't have seen it if you hadn't believed it. After the funeral, I wondered if I would receive a visitation. That has never happened, at least not yet. However, a few weeks after the funeral, a close acquaintance informed me that my wife had appeared to her in a dream. The message was that everything went the way it was supposed to with regard to her death, and that she was unable to visit me because my emotional reaction would be too intense. I can verify that. But it's easy to dismiss dreams. After all, it's a universal experience, and virtually all dreams are ordinary, transient, and fictional. So absent personal experience to the contrary, how is the average person supposed to believe that there might be any other kind? And yet I believed her. You can believe what you will, but I have many other experiences to draw from. Today I want to share a series of 3 events that happened during the first year after the funeral. After I recovered enough to begin socializing again and started corresponding with various internet friends, most of whom were hundreds or thousands of miles away, one decided to fly out for a visit. I picked her up at the airport. After we reached the house, the first thing she did was to ask to see a picture of my wife. When she looked at it, she said, "That's her." Then she told me that my wife had appeared to her and asked her to help me in a specific way. Now, before you release the clutch on your explanation machinery, keep listening. A few months later, another girlfriend came out to visit and told me a similar story. She was in her dining room when my wife appeared to her, again delivering a request to help me. The friend immediately knew who she was and said that the experience was peaceful. The friend promised to help, and then the experience was over. The third time it happened, the friend was a family acquaintance who'd known both of us as a married couple. She was, as you can imagine, startled when my late wife appeared to her in a bust-like appearance from the neck up. After a request to help me, she vanished. I point out that none of these friends knew each other. The reports were unsolicited, with no prompting or participation on my part. Yet the accounts are consistent and unambiguous. Each of them involved unanticipated visual and audio interaction. The individuals were fully conscious, and none of it was based upon mere feelings or emotional states. What is the rational explanation? Speaking as an engineer, I accept the obvious one. I submit that personality and spirit persist past the death of the body. For reasons that are unclear to us in this world, those on the other side are permitted only limited interaction, but obviously it is possible and allowed under the right circumstances. The bond of love with my late wife was and remains strong, even if she could not visit me directly. Her concern for my grieving state led her to intervene on my behalf. According to biblical explanations, our brief time on earth is essentially a schooling and testing experience. The afterlife is far more organized and rational than this earth. and has wise and compelling reasons to remain hidden from us most of the time. I am thankful for a loving wife whose care for me extended beyond death. I am also grateful for the loving friends who helped me heal and recover after my difficult journey through the valley of the shadow of her death. I am grateful that I found love and remarried. The perspective I have gained of the love and of the afterlife is a precious gift, and I thank our loving Heavenly Father for it.